Hey guys, it's your girl Tower Crush back with another review, and this time it is for Love and Marriage Huntsville, the whole season. If you would, please hit my subscribe button for me, please. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna make this as short and sweet as I can. I'm not gonna really include too many pictures. It takes too long, and y'all don't be watching my videos enough for me to edit everything, but I just feel like I needed to do this read because I've watched the whole season and I haven't done really any reviews on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, and it's one of my favorite shows, but y'all just don't, we'll see what happens. Okay, so I want to talk about just about everything that happened this season that was kind of memorable. Like one of the first things that happened was the vaping controversy, and that was basically new members Tiffany bringing up to Kimmy that Monster had been caught vaping in the bathroom, and Kimmy didn't happen to know about it. Maurice knew, his mother knew, but Kimmy wasn't privy to that, and it may have caused an actual rift in, her and her husband's relationship. I don't know. Her and Maurice's relationship, because I'm going to be like, why you ain't telling me stuff like this? That would just seem weird to me. At the same time, Tiffany was out of line for bringing it up when she did. It's almost like she's got diarrhea of the mouth. It's like she thinks something. She's like, oh, this might be a good thing to say. And then she says it, and then she's like, I can't believe I got that response. Well, did you think about what you were saying and in the comfort of who you were saying it to? Like, did you think about these things? Because I don't think you did. Because I think if you had thought about it, you would have pulled that back. Now, Kimmy is like clearly my favorite on the show because Kimmy keeps it real. I think Kimmy's a little more mature than everyone else, a little older. So I take to her a little easier because I'm a little older as well. So, so I just love Kimmy. And when they were talking about the vapor controversy, and they went on to Tiffany and her husband and how they were talking at home, and he was like, glad I didn't have that drink because that could have went a whole different way. And she was like, what you talking about? It was about to be some whole, no, she said some Scott throwing up in there. We'd have moved some things around. We'd have figured some things out. I was like, that's why I knew I love Kimmy. Because what you're not going to do is act like you're about to do something when we know you're not. Because we're ready. And then the host asked her, what you thought they were selling whip tickets? She said, yes. I love Kimmy. I love Kimmy. I'm sorry. You're not going to get me to say anything bad about her. I've loved her from the beginning. It has not wavered, not one bit. That's just my opinion. And I'm going to try to get into each couple and then kind of tell a little bit about their storyline, for the season. Okay, we're going to start with Mel and Martell. I'm going to call it a fiasco because that's what it was to me. It seemed like a whole lot of him not wanting to grow, him not wanting to accept any type of accountability. It's kind of like, yeah, I cheated, but you wouldn't told everybody. Like, which is worse? I wouldn't have had anything to tell if you hadn't cheated, so he fails to see his portion of it. He can only see, it's like a narcissist. He's like the strongest narcissist that you can be because he literally will blame you for what he did. Because in his mind, his reasoning is this, and if you had anything to do with this, your fault because you didn't do X, Y, and Z. That's why I lost my integrity. I'm here to tell you, can't nobody make you cheat. Cheating is something that you decide to do. Either you get yourself so intoxicated in a situation that you ain't got no business and you wind up cheating, or you soberly mind actually go in to cheat. But that's not something that happens on an accident, and you did that for years, bruh. Years. So stop blaming her. It's not fun. I did like the way Mel actually explained some things in the reunion. But I am with Tisha, like, how you forget if you put them in your mouth? Seriously though, Mel, like, that was a little weird to me. Now, what I would have appreciated her saying is, I don't know, maybe I said that in the moment to make him mad. That I can understand, because sometimes when we mad and the person's like asking me this and that, yeah, I sure did. Whatever's gonna make you mad. So that maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I'm not taking no sides on it. I'm not, because it is what it is. But again, I'm not mad at her for going out. If she did, you know, treat her mouth good, then that's her business. Okay, so their back and forth was just kind of draining. Every chance he got, you know, Martell is saying stuff to poke the bear, like when they had the whole, you know, meeting, the company meeting with the Get Back group. The Get Back group, the Get Back that Can't Get Right group. And he brought all the kids up there and put them in her office, but then tried to blame her for, you know, being, you know, kind of taken aback when she found out that they was there. It's like, bruh, how you gonna bring them in my office and not tell me so that I can go greet my kids and speak to my kids? So I definitely felt Melanie on that. But I did not feel Martell when he left. He didn't like what was being said. He said something under, you know, below the belt. Something about, yeah, practice neglecting your kids or something like that. He said to Melody to get under her skin, and then he left and he snatched the kids up out of the office and went on. Then he calls her talking about they crying. I guess they are crying. They thought they was about to see their mama again. Why you even bring them up there? That was just like really, really irresponsible, if you ask me. It was a business meeting. The kids had no business being there in the first place. And then we saw the aftermath of him crashing her date. That was another thing that says, yeah, Martell definitely did not want out of his marriage. He wanted to remain married to Melody. I think he wanted to find a way to get away from old girl, but he could not because he loved her as well. And I think he just has a hard time admitting that, because that means that he's, you know, letting Mel off the hook, because, you know, he's tried for like 2 seasons to paint her as the bad guy, and I'm just not buying it. Anything that we do after we split up, anything that I do with another person after we split up is my business. Anything that you do with another person after we split up is your business. As long as it's not anybody that either one of us knows, then there's nothing that can be said. So I'm not mad at Mel if she did get some. She should have, because he had been getting some for years, right? And she didn't even know about it. So yes, honey, you had licks to get back. I'm not mad at that. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's talk about her song and video, Telltale Signs. I am so happy that she is actually going out there and, you know, shooting for her dreams and actually seeing them come true. She's recorded an album or some songs. I don't know if the whole album is completed, and she has seen much success. A lot, of course, due to the people who follow the show. So I'm very happy for her that she's, you know, living out her dreams. Now, the song itself is not for me. I don't like it. I don't know if it's because I don't relate to that type of pain where somebody done dogged you. When I last dealt with that was with my first kid's father, but I was like 18. And when we split up, I was like 19. And that's so many light years behind me. Like, I would have to literally go back and revisit those feelings in order to feel that song, because, you know, nobody making no baby on me and living to tell about it, because I'm gonna cut you. So, you know, I'm happy that she is seeing success, and I'm hoping, I saw she posted that she's got a new song out, so I'm definitely going to go check that out. Hopefully it's something that I can really vibe to, but it's like Side Chick Award. Okay, Melody. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. I mean, if they buying into it, because I saw it inspired a lot. Her first song inspired a lot of women. People was crying, you know, telling her that they was definitely inspired. And I'm like, wow. We go through a lot as women. Not me. I'm not. She made it up. A little bit. Don't play with me. Okay, so let's move on to Latisha and Marcel. I don't really care for Latisha at all. Her spirit drains me. And I could just only imagine how draining she is in person. Because if no accountability was a person, it would be Latisha. And it's like she can't even see how she talks herself around circles and how she goes all about what she's supposed to be saying. Like, I don't think like Kimmy said, it's too much. And I totally understood what she meant by that. I don't think I can be who they want me to be in this friendship. I'm so glad you said it, because they are definitely crazy. Latisha and her mama are crazy. Wanda, they crazy. I don't know where they come from. Bessemer. They come from Bessemer, Alabama, or whatever. I don't know what they taught them in Bessemer. But yes, I'm not feeling it at all. Because the way Latisha sees it, being her friend is always siding with her. I will never forget, she told Kimmy was like, so even when I feel like you're wrong, you still want me to side with you? Yes, whatever. Yes, side with me. No. You want fake friends. That's what you want, because in the moment somebody side with you and they don't really agree with you, you're going to say, well, why did you side with me? I would much rather you tell me the truth. No, you won't, because when they tell you the truth, you get in your feelings. And your mammy get in her feelings. Miss Wanda, she just really got under my skin this season. She really did. But let me just stay on topic. Let's talk about Black. That's a little sports bar and grill that, I think it's what it is, restaurant. Well, anyway, it's the new location for Latisha and Marcel. They opened their business and they've got their own wine, chocolate, black and chocolate, or chocolate and black. So they've got some good, positive things going on. I will say there was one scene that really got under my skin, and that was with Jalen. And when I guess there was a holiday and things broke down, people walked out. And Jalen was there to run the restaurant by himself. He was there to have to do everything. Like, he's having to cook, he's having to serve, he's having to take orders, he's doing all of that. And Marcel and Latisha never showed up to help him, knowing that the staff had left, and their stance was, so what? You still need to send the reports. I don't care what happened. I was like, girl, she lucky I ain't Jalen's girlfriend, because I'd have smacked her. Like, honey, you need to step into reality, because y'all ain't no different than corporate America, who expect for us to go and give our lives for they doggone companies. That's y'all's company, honey. That is not Jalen's company. That is not his company. That is not his company, so it's not his responsibility to run it when it's falling apart. And you wonder why your other employees left. It's a reason why they left. The girls was probably getting sexually harassed by your husband. And the other ones ain't no telling, probably getting underpaid and told that they ain't doing something right. Because the way y'all talked to Jalen like he was some kid or something, to me was uncalled for. And I'm with Kimmy. You treated him like that because you was mad at Kimmy. Because there was no reason why y'all should have had any problem with what Jalen did when Jalen had to fill all of those shoes for that holiday and y'all didn't even show up. Talking about we expected you to step up. Excuse me? This is your company. It's one thing you expect me to do my job, you know, when you're not here. Okay, but I was hired to do one thing. I had to do everything. And y'all didn't come and help me. That's a problem for me. That's a problem for me. So better Jalen than me, because yeah, whoever Jalen girlfriend is, she a punk, because she's supposed to went up there and put Latisha in her plate. I'm just playing. But seriously, yeah, you had life bent and talking to him like, I don't know. I didn't appreciate that at all. So much so I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I said something how delusional her and Marcel are. Like, that is not how a company works. And Marcel, he always trying to sound profound. Dude, you sound stupid. You ain't even making no sense right now. The reasoning that he gave Jalen, yeah, well, what I'm trying to see is see how much we can put on you. You see what I'm saying? And then we'll know what you can do for our business. You know, like, bruh, how does that help me? Like, because he came back and was like, yeah, I feel like Jalen is being a little unappreciative of the role. Jalen's being unappreciative. How about you are being unappreciative? Okay, so, and again, like I said, Latisha's inability to accept any accountability is draining. Like, she comes on my screen and my energy shifts. That's a heck of an energy to have, ma'am. I'm gonna need you to get that all cleansed up. Like, you admit that you're spoiled, but you don't feel like those spoiled ways are rubbing off on your friendships. It's like, honey, if they not eating your box, they don't have to spoil you. They don't have, that's not your, they not your husband, they your friends. They don't have to spoil you. You need to grow up. And I think Carlos hit it right on the head when he was like, do you think she's mature enough? She absolutely is not mature enough. Kimmy didn't want to say that. I'll say it. She's very immature. She is on some, well, it's, you know, until we get to the 4th grade, here's what it is. If I'm mad, then you mad. So we mad, okay? And when she couldn't get that, Kimmy ain't loyal. You know what I'm saying? When Kimmy tells the truth, like they did on the first reunion, when they was like, she was like, yeah, me and Tisha was talking about her postings. You know, and then Wanda takes that as Kimmy being disloyal to Tisha, like she didn't tell on herself. Like, bruh, I cannot with Wanda and her little daughter, Latisha. And then when Kimmy was like, she had the thing for Jalen for his graduation or whatever, and she intentionally did not invite Wanda. Tisha got in her feelings about that. Y'all remember? That was last season. She was like, well, I don't think it's fair for you to say that you're not going to invite my mother to certain events. Like, we all want. No, we not. She's not no Scott. Shut up. No, because she keeps causing problems. That's why Tisha. And then this season, Tisha, well, I think it's time that, you know, I might have to keep mama back from a few events. Really? Is that what Kimmy was saying last? Now you understand, because she just sat here and told you, shake a bone and get the hell on. She just got finished trying to read Val or whatever, and my friend was her from Kentucky, her and her husband, and we was watching that episode when she asked Val, did she cheat on her husband? And Val was like, oh, you just, and my friend was like, oh, she looked guilty. And I said, well, maybe she's married. That's why she don't want to say nothing. But I don't know. But you was grown enough to do it. Be grown enough to stand in it, honey. Don't try to run from it. If that's what you did, honey, stand on it and tell your husband why you did it. And then let him decide whether or not he want to stay with you or not. But don't let nobody else tell your dirty secrets. Because Marcel definitely came back and said, yeah, they was definitely more than friends. He said it might not be no video out there because apparently it's Marcel's brother that she was talking to or had befriended. And that's what supposedly made a video of them. And she was like, well, you can't have a video of something that never happened. And he was like, let's be clear. There might not be a video, but oh, it definitely happened. So I was like, oh, Marcel, you are so good at telling other people's business. Then how about telling your own? Like, your wife still don't know about your children. People ain't gonna make them type of lies up on you just to be making them up on you. And the way you respond to the accusations is totally opposite of how you respond to everything else. You passionate about everything until somebody gets to bringing up your cheating. You're like, hey, I don't feel like we should respond to that. You don't breathe life into stupid lies, you know. Like, bruh, and she just wants to believe it because she don't want to leave you. But I think Tisha knows better. I think she knows that where there's smoke, there's fire. But she's still talking that stuff today on the reunion. And I was like, Tisha, girl, please stop. Please. Please, no. Just because, honey, you have definitely shown yourself. And you showed yourself even more today on the reunion. I feel like if Kimmy never talks to you again, she's well within her rights. And I don't blame her for saying that. Is she the type of person that you would befriend if not for family? And she said no. And you can't be mad at that. Heck, it's people that I would not be friends with that are my blood relatives. And I'm not friends with them. We got the same everything, but guess what? I don't have to be your friend. I don't have I don't dish out unconditional love to anybody. Judge me. But I'm not dishing out unconditional love to anybody, not my children, not my parents, not nobody, because everybody can do something to make me cut their mouth. Everybody. I don't care what you say. You might be an unconditional type of person, but I'm not. There's going to always be conditions. Don't do X, Y, and Z, and we good. Let me see. I thought the Destiny race was a beautiful thing that they did, though. They had their first inaugural Destiny race, and that's basically where you write your destiny down on a card, and they put it on this thing, and they stick it in the ground, and then you run this marathon, and when you come back, you basically running towards your destiny. And so you go pick your destiny up and you tell everybody what your destiny is. So whatever. So I thought that was really beautiful. And they kicked that off this season. So that was a very beautiful thing. So I got to talk about the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I say big ups to Latisha's plastic surgery because she is a built, honey. No more frumpy Tisha for her, because she got all of this snatched up and wrapped up. And I said, well, you better do it, honey, because you look good. Y'all said y'all look good, honey. Y'all said y'all look good. But you need to stop all of that with your friends. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Stop it. Thank you. Okay, so let me see. Let's go with Kimmy and Maurice. I just love me some them. Now, I don't know. I love Kimmy more than Maurice. Maurice, to me, seems like, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about him I don't care for. I think he's funny when he wants to be, but there's something about him I don't care for. But I did appreciate him going to counseling and actually allowing the counselor to, speak to him. Actually hearing the counselor and listening and actually trying to apply change to his relationship. That was beautiful. More men need to do that. Because women, we already up in counseling. We already there. We in therapy. We been in therapy. We been there. We could probably refer you to who you probably want to talk to. So I did appreciate seeing the men go back and forth to counseling. That to me was good. Y'all remember when Marcel did Tisha like that with the money counseling? Oh, it didn't go how he wanted it to, did it? That was funny. That was like, yeah, well, even if you had all of this makeup together and we go look at that car, it's not going to... Well, he says Latisha spends too much. That's not true. Latisha buys too much. That could be true. There's a whole difference between spending too much and buying too much. And I don't think Marcel really gets that because he kept saying the wrong thing. He kept saying the wrong one. So back to Kimmy and Maurice. And then, applying it to his relationship, like the dinner that he made with the rose petals. That was cute. Wasn't that cute? And he just kind of told her about what, the professor said. And so that to me is them keeping their relationship fresh and keeping it good and on good standing, because you go to counseling not only when times are bad, but also when times are good, to make sure you stay balanced and level. Kimmy's blow up at Vegas, I felt like was warranted, because when you're a good, kind-hearted person and you kind of lean on your character and your integrity to speak for you, it hurts when somebody's lying on you or putting something on you that you know is not true. That hurts. So I definitely understood her frustration with everybody that was joking about her possibly being a side chick. That was just uncalled for, and I definitely understood it, and I really appreciated the way she stood on her word. Like, no, and it's not funny. Tell him, Miss Kimmy. And, and Maurice was like, well, I didn't think I had to say anything because it's literally impossible. He was like, he was on his way. He had his ticket to Alabama before he ever even met Kimmy. So he had already signed divorce papers at that point. So I don't know what old girl's issue is with Kimmy, but maybe she says she thinks that she interfered with her marriage, but I guess her ability to get back with him. But that's not the case, because let Kimmy tell her, he was doing all kind of women in Alabama before she decided to get with him. And she said the problem was he stopped with me. And so that would make sense. But yeah, Kyle, she's petty. I don't really care for that. And I just really, really appreciated Kimmy calling Tisha on her BS. Like, I had to watch y'all drag me all season long. And she shouldn't have had nothing nice to say to her. She really shouldn't have, because there was nothing nice that was said about Kimmy when Kimmy was not around. And Kimmy does not deserve that for being honest and being real. And I do understand what Kimmy was saying when she said that Tisha only texted her in the group because there was an issue between them. She don't never text me in the group when she need to check. She always call me. Why you didn't call me this time? She's like, well, you didn't call me either. You didn't call me either. And she was like, I don't ever call you. She said, I know. I was thinking, I'm going to stop calling to see how long. And I was like, she really don't mess with me. Some people don't call. And like Kimmy said, if you look back, it's always been that way. It's only a problem because it's a problem. I love Kimmy. Sorry. I love Kimmy. Sorry. But, you know, I love, you know, everybody that's trying to do something positive. I just don't like for people to, you know, point blame at everybody else and not accept any responsibility for themselves. I don't like that. And that's the epitome of who Latisha is. She don't, it's like she'll say, like when she was like, well, when have I not went hard for you, Kimmy? She's like, when have you? When he asked you to marry you. I told you about you. She's like, yeah, I didn't say you didn't throw me about. That's not what she's talking about. She's talking about in a time of conflict. In a time of, you know, resolution, when somebody's trying to get a resolution to something, you don't go hard for her. That's something totally different than what you're supposed to do as a sister-in-law. It's totally different. And girl, go on, peasant, go on. Without that misunderstanding. And then also, and I like Miss Van. Y'all know I like Miss Van. But I did not appreciate her calling Miss Wanda ghetto. In fact, I don't like the word ghetto, or as they said it, ghetto. I don't like that word, because if you look up the word ghetto, it is basically the place that they push all black people in the city. It's a place where basically redlining pushes, like every major town in America has a black side. Every single one of them. Because the banks is going to make sure that they don't give loans outside of those lines for black borrowers. You know, it's called redlining. So when you say ghetto, because it's basically a place in the city for where underprivileged or a certain demographic is forced. So it's not even it's not an adjective. It's a noun. And it's not a verb, you know, it's a noun. So when you say a person is acting ghetto, like, no, what is acting ghetto? Acting oppressed? Is that what we're saying? I don't like the word. I think we should leave it in 2021. I mean, we should leave it to those other people who like to say it, you know, for their own reasons, and then we'll know who they are. But I think we as a people need to leave that word in 2021, because we don't even use it properly. And when we do use it, we're basically buying into the white supremacy that has had us oppressed in the first place. So I don't like the word, and I'm not going to say it anymore. Anyway, moving on. Tiffany and Big Ad. I'm going to say Big Ad because every time I see him online, his clothes don't ever fit him. He just got big clothes. Transparency was crap because we didn't know nothing about them. We didn't see nothing about them. And I remember Martell had actually tweeted something, or he posted on Instagram, that nobody on the whole show was married for real. I was like, okay, so I can see that with Tiffany now, because if she proposed to him and they got married on a baseball field or whatever, then maybe she didn't get the licenses. I don't know. But how do you, Kimmy and Maurice aren't really married? You mean to tell me Marcel and Latisha have split up or something? Like, what did you mean by that? He just be talking. But, you know, Tiffany talks about Destiny a lot, and Destiny talks about too, but they was each other's storyline because they really didn't have one. Destiny had the whole magazine cover. I thought that was pretty dope. She's on hype hair. She's got her company kicked off and everything. So I think it's really dope, the things that she's trying to do. I think it's really sad that her husband asked her for a divorce 3 weeks after she gave birth to her first child. I feel like he is the lowest of the low. I feel like he is scum. And I'm sorry that she had to go through that by herself, because she didn't feel like she had friends that she could call on within that group to help her go through it. And let's just call a spade a spade. That's what it means. Because she would have called Melody if they were that tight. You know what I'm saying? She would have definitely called her. But that didn't happen. So I'm sorry that Destiny had to go through that alone. But I'm glad that they kind of tried to rally around her since then. But I think her behavior on the show was what made Melody pretty much take time away from her, because she was being real catty. Like, Mel was dropping her video. She was at her video release party and she talking about a village and all this other stuff. I was very disappointed in Destiny. I'm like, girl, you do not need a storyline that bad that you are going to be this obvious and trying to sabotage your friend's event. Don't do that. Don't do it, because that's when I have to come for you. We're supposed to be supporting each other. You sitting there talking about a doggone village. Call me tomorrow about it. Don't talk to me right now. So I was happy that Mel twirled on her. She twirled on her. I was not mad. So that's my read pretty much in a nutshell. I like pretty much like everybody, but like I said, Latisha, her energy drains me. I don't care for her in this show. I feel like the way she was first season is not who she is now. I feel like she definitely is feeling herself, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying you should also remember to be respectful of everybody else. Because, and I'll need her to go back and watch herself. Watch your and watch for contradictions, honey. Don't just watch for, you know, confirmation bias. Watch for your contradictions, because they all over the place. They all over the place. And then you will understand why they be dragging you on the internet. Because you don't even see it. Clearly. And clearly Marcel ain't telling you nothing, because he wants to just be, you know, able to cheat in peace. So he ain't just, you know, I'm going to leave it right there, because, you know, I'm going to wind up saying something that I regret. No, I won't. I mean everything that I say, and I stand on it. I'm just again, so if you have not already, please hit my subscribe button. And that is me, $5.02. Peace.